Hey guys, so today we're going to be doing the episode 4 for Middlewood driving test route. So if you haven't watched episode 1, 2, or 3 yet, then don't forget checking the playlist for Middlewood and you should find all of those episodes. So yep, let's jump in the car and get down to Middlewood for episode 4. All right, so welcome back, guys. So let's get down to business. I'm now at Middlewood Test Center, just somewhere on the corner. So let us get to the road and see what we can find for episode number 4. Now, so far, I hope that you found the other episodes useful. And don't forget, I would appreciate your likes. Leave a comment below if you've got any questions, and I'll try to get back to you. And most importantly, if you're still watching these videos and you're finding them useful and you have not yet subscribed to the channel, then what are you waiting for? So I would really appreciate that. So, yep, let's get onto the road and let us try and put this into pieces. So, yeah, let's get on the road and see what we can find. Right now, it is Wednesday, the 14th of September 2022, and the time is 3:31. So, if you would have any interest in knowing what the time is when I did this route, so that's it for you. And yeah, it's in the afternoon. And I believe at this time there normally should be one more test before the end of the day. So that'll be good if you're having a late afternoon test like this, then this is it. So Wednesday, it's 3:32 p.m. in the afternoon now, and it's 14th of September. So right. Typical things, so don't forget, regardless where you find yourself, just make sure look around.
Turn right, Win Gardens, then, at the end of the road, turn left, A6102, Middlewood Road.
So if you've got situations like this van is here on my left blocking my view. Make sure you check properly because that van could be hiding any oncoming vehicle or cyclist or any other road users per se. So take your time and check properly.
Turn left, A6102, Middlewood Road.
So right there is the test center. I believe that was just one test about to start there. Okay. So if you've watched episode 1, 2, and 3 already, then you should know my opinion on this route. So keep in mind you've got the tram line ahead. Look out for traffic signs. Look on the floor. Remember that the signs you see on episode 1, 2, or 3 might not be the same thing you see on 4 or 5 or 6 because things could change. Things do change. So keep that in mind. That's why you should not be cramming these test routes. You should be learning from what you see and understanding how science works and what you should be doing if you were to meet any of these things on the road on your test. So learn to look around, relax, let your neck move around. Don't roll your eyeballs and your head is just stuck on one bit. That just shows you're not relaxed. You should be relaxed enough to move your head. Remember that your head is not moving your steering wheel, so you should be able to move your head around even while your hand is just right at the same position holding your steering wheel. If you're looking around or you're looking away and you're moving your steering at the same time, this is where you start to introduce trouble.
After
Problems start
200
to come in.
yards, bear right, Middlewood Road.
So bear right. Now I know I can't continue right between 3 and 7
Bear
p.m.
right,
and right now it's
Middlewood
past
Road.
7. So this is one of those situations. So I'm not going to go straight towards the right. I'm going to actually keep left here. Now this obviously then means that on a test they would not likely bring you this way or you would not be taking this route that takes you that way at this time. And that's just a perfect example of looking out for road signs. Now, this wouldn't happen on your test because examiners know you can't go that way. But then what happens if this was not a test and you're just driving on a regular day after you have passed? Using that road there at this time would have given you tickets, so you'd be paying some fines for
After
using the
100
wrong
yards,
lane
bear
or for using a
left,
bus lane during the
B6079
hours of operation.
Middlewood Road. Then, at the end of the road, turn left.
So if I took that way, then we should have come out just on that road over there. So we would have been coming out from this point where the black taxi or that car's coming from. So I don't know where they've come from. The last time I had this situation as well, that was in episode 1. I saw some people going into it, but I can see clearly the sign says no. So this is what you want to do when you're driving in places you're not used to. Don't join people because someone is doing something, but you can see that the sign is telling you not to do it. Because eventually, you might just be ending up in a situation where you've got to pay a fine because someone did something and you followed them, but you never know. Maybe they might just be rushing to an interview or to somewhere important, or they just don't care. They don't mind paying that ticket, or maybe they don't even know themselves. So don't follow people and ignore the signs. Okay, so I can see the driver behind me on the interior mirror. The driver behind me on the interior mirror is driving quite too close behind. So that's not a problem, nothing for me to worry about. It's just that I'm aware of it. So when I'm going to brake, or if I'm going to brake, I know that I would have to start braking in good time to give the driver behind enough
After
time
300
to react.
yards, turn right, Taplin Road, then turn left, Gillsborough Place.
Okay, so I'm turning right, and that would be 1, 2, 3, the 4th turn on the right.
Turn right, Taplin Road, then turn left, Gillsborough Place.
And then I'm turning left after that.
Turn left, Gillsborough Place. Then, at the end of the road, turn left, A6101, Home Lane.
So remember, if you have to, speak to yourself, speak out loud if you have to. It's not a crime. Because in this way, you keep reminding yourself what you need to do.
Turn left, A6101, Home Lane.
As you can see, you can only turn left here. So this is one of those situations where if you're doing independence driving, you don't expect examiners to tell you where to turn to here, because the sign clearly says no right turn there. It just shows that you're responding to the traffic signs, or at least you're seeing and responding to the traffic signs. And here is a bus lane coming up. Now, this is always one thing that also causes confusion. Some people are not used to bus lanes on the right of the road. If you see the signs here, you can see that the bus lane is on the right hand side. And again, the line actually filters you towards the left. If the line is expanding towards the left, then that means the bus lane is going to be on the left. If it's giving you more space on the right, I think I'll make a different video for this because it might actually not make sense right now from what I'm saying.
After 200 yards, cross the roundabout, second exit, A6101, Bowlerton Green, then, at the end of the road, turn left, A61, Penistone Road. Cross the roundabout, second exit, A6101, Bowler Utton Green, then, at the end of the road, turn left, A61, at the end of the road, turn left, A61, Penistone Road. Turn left, A61, Penistone Road.
All right, I know I'm turning right ahead because I'm looking at the sat nav, and I can see that in 700 yards I need to turn right. So whenever there's a chance
After
now, I would be
600
changing lane
yards,
to the right.
turn right, A6102, Herries
So at
Road
this point,
South.
even though there's no chance yet, I'm signaling so that whoever is around knows what my intentions are, and maybe that way someone might give me way and I can go through. But if I just keep slowing down there, no one has a clue what I intend to do.
After
So
400 yards,
sometimes you
turn
might
right,
actually want to signal,
A6102,
even
Herries Road
though
South.
there is no opportunity yet. Just signal so that everyone around you are aware of your intention ahead. Now you saw that yellow light just came on just as I was close to the traffic light. Now in that situation, if you braked and stopped there, it would be dangerous.
Right,
So this is one of those
A6102,
situations
Herries
where
Road South.
continuing at the light in such situation is safer than stop. So keep this in mind. If you're just about getting to the light when it changes, it is safer to continue. Now that doesn't mean then if you see the light changing and you got a couple of yards away enough to be able to stop safely, then you're not stopping. Then that would be a serious fault because you'll be jumping the red light. So just keep this in mind. I've had a couple of lanes in the past failing because of that. In fact, I had a learner fail because of that twice, and that was in Heathrow Green in London. And if you're used to Heathrow Green, if you've watched any of my videos in Heathrow Green, or you just find yourself watching this video, you know what I mean. It's the traffic light on Lee High Road. So, yep. So again, this is not a long test route. It doesn't take long. Right now, I have maybe about 20 minutes left. And I literally just started a few minutes ago. So here is episode 4, and again, I still haven't seen anything so tough with Middlewood test routes. So if you really don't like roundabouts, then this is the one for you. Seriously. If you don't like roundabouts, or you're not so good with roundabouts, or you have so much anxiety whenever you get to roundabouts, especially those massive ones on Handsworth test route, then Middlewood is the one that I can recommend. But then again, the other problem is that if you are able to find test due to the problems we all know at the moment with getting a test date. Okay, I'm gonna put my cruise control on now. Sometimes people ask me, can I use cruise control? on my test. If you can use it safely, it's a car safe. I mean, it's a car feature. It's nothing stopping you from using it, because then I don't have to keep worrying about my speed, or going over the speed limit in a situation like this where I'm just
After
going on a
300
straight road
yards,
for a long
turn
time.
left, Barry Crescent, then turn left, Morgan Road. Turn left, Barry Crescent, then turn left, Morgan Road.
Okay, so I'm turning left and then taking immediate left again. And I know this because I can see the sat
Turn
nav.
left,
So it's really
Morgan
important
Road, then
to get yourself
turn right,
into the habit
Morgan Avenue.
of looking at the pictures. Don't just listen to the audio or the voice guidance and you're not looking at the picture,
Turn
because
right,
eventually you take a
Morgan
wrong
Avenue.
turn. Eventually you're going to take a wrong turn, or you might, okay, you take a wrong turn, or you might just end up um, following instructions late. Right, I'm going to pull up somewhere and explain what just happened over there. Now, if that was on the test, I would actually expect you to wait for that vehicle, because that vehicle has priority there. We're turning right. There are cars parked on our left, which is in our lane. Now, as you can see, what I did there, gave that driver no option other than to wait anyways. Or if they're crazy enough or impatient enough, then they can probably, a lot of the time I see that happen, because someone doesn't want to wait, they will drive over the giveaway line from the other road to pass me through. But yes, I should have paid more attention there. I should have given way, unless or until that driver actually gives me a way to proceed. Then I would go into that lane to go through. So keep that in mind. That's a good example situation there. You should be waiting to give way to that vehicle. So my bad. Okay. Remember, places like this is really important to do your blind spot check, because you've got all these driveways
After
on the
200
right,
yards,
just
turn
on your
right,
shoulders.
Kinharavi
And
Road,
if you don't
then
look into
at
your
the
blind
end of
spot,
the road,
any of them
turn
could be
right,
pulling off.
Moonshine Lane.
So any of those vehicles could be moving off, or leaving the driveways. And if you don't see that, then that is not going to be good for your
Turn
test.
right, Kinharavi Road, then at the end of the road, turn right, Moonshine Lane.
So I can see them, so I hold up a bit so that they can get to safety. There you go, and I go on.
Turn right, Moonshine Lane, then turn left, Southie Rise.
And you want to be careful on this road, because you've got this bend here hiding the cars from your view. So eventually, say, once you think you've got a chance and something just comes up, so make sure you look to your right again before you move out. And when it's safe, make progress and move out safely. Don't hold back too much.
After 100 yards, turn left, Southie Rise, then turn left, Southie Avenue. Turn left, Southie Avenue.
So don't forget, don't get carried away with driving and planning and then not remember your speed. I don't know if you notice, every now and then, if I get carried away, maybe talking too much, I end up going about 32, 22, like about 2-3 miles over the speed limit sometimes. But yeah, keep this in mind, pay attention. Every now and then, I often say, look at your
After
dash so
200
you can see
yards,
what the
turn
speed you're
right,
doing.
Crowder Crescent, then turn right, Everingham Close.
So remember, you've got a giveaway sign ahead, which means oncoming vehicles would have priority at this point. So there's no oncoming vehicles, so I can move in and
Turn
go through.
right,
And once you go
Crowder
through it,
Crescent,
come
then
back into your
turn
lane.
right, Everingham Close.
So these are really things you want to pay attention to in Middlewood. It's not much work compared to Handsworth. So if you can pass in Handsworth, you can pass here.
Turn right,
If you can pass
Everingham
here,
Close, then turn left, Southie Drive.
it doesn't necessarily mean you can pass in Handsworth because of the roundabouts and the flow markings, which you really have to pay attention to at those roundabouts or getting to the roundabouts. So yeah, that's the difference. Middlewood is a lot more laid back.
After 80 yards, turn left, Southie Drive, then turn left.
And be careful with this road here. Don't be driving too fast, especially
Turn
if you're driving an electric car
Southie
like
Drive,
mine.
then turn
People
left, Everingham Road.
live in the driveways might not hear your car coming, or someone might run out for one reason or the other. So keep that in mind. Remember the hazards around you. Remember the potential possibility of something
turn left, Everingham
jumping
Road.
into the road.
Turn left, Everingham Road.
So anyways, like I always say, as you can see, I would often leave the speed showing on the video so that you can have a good idea of what speed I'm also doing. I need to give you a rough idea of what I'm doing so that you can use that to kind of help yourself, give you an idea.
At the end of the road, turn left, Crowder Road.
So here I would just stay in the middle of the road because there's no oncoming vehicles and there's no point snaking around when there's really nothing to give way to. But if there was an oncoming vehicle and I have space, then I would move into that space because the vehicles at the moment over there were parked in our lane, so they have priority.
Turn left, Crowder Road.
So here is 30, coming back into 30 zone. Okay, safe. Now be careful turning here. If there's oncoming vehicles from your left, remember you can go through, but just be aware of your speed and your steering. Effective steering, you need it. You don't want your car swinging too much towards their lane and then freaking the driver out. So remember, steer properly and effectively.
At the end of the road, turn left, Southie Green Road. Turn left, Southie Green Road.
Okay, it's clear. Now be very careful at that junction. There is a steep on that. There's a little hill there. So if you're going to stop and put your handbrake on if you're driving, especially a manual car. If you're driving an automatic car, I would still suggest to put your handbrake on. If your car has an auto hold system or hill start assist, then you'll be better off in that case because you won't have to worry much. But if your car is more of the older one where you have the manual handbrake, then I would suggest you put your handbrake on, especially if it's a manual car. it's an automatic car, you know, you might have a, another little help from your gear pushing you slightly forward, or which in this case might just help you hold the car from rolling back if the gas wasn't enough in the first place.
After 300
So bear that
yards,
in mind.
cross the roundabout,
If you have
second
to stop
exit,
there,
Southie Green Road.
or if you have more experience, it becomes easier. What I did, that I didn't actually use my brake. I was actually using the gas to hold the car. Just a little tiny gas keeps that force even. But yeah,
Cross the
that's a
roundabout,
different thing
second exit,
entirely.
Southie Green Road.
We are literally close to the end of the test. If this was
After
a test.
300 yards, cross the roundabout, second exit, Southie Green Road.
So
Cross the
here are the couple of
roundabout,
roundabouts you
second
might have to
exit,
deal with in
Southie Green
Middlewood.
Road.
Nothing big, single lane, no floor marking. So turning right, same lane, turning left, same lane, going straight, same lane. You just have to remember to signal at the correct time. So yep, that really is it. That's it. So same thing here, you would come across a lot of these both in Middlewood and Handsworth. So remember, give way to vehicles coming towards you.
At the end of the
If
road,
you can't
turn left,
get through
A61,
on
Halifax
time or in
Road.
time before they get to you, they've got priority, and you shouldn't be rushing it. It's not a competition. They've got priority, so don't try and beat them to it. That's not the whole point, or that's not the idea.
Turn
Okay,
left,
it's clear on the right.
A61, Halifax Road.
So there is traffic on the left lane, right lane is clear. So at this point, I'm just going to use the right lane. There is no crime doing that at this point. Remember, you should always use the left lane, because the left lane is your normal driving lane. Well, there's nothing stopping you from using the right lane if the traffic on the left lane is slower than that on the right, or if the right lane is moving faster than the left lane and you're making progress. Nothing wrong with that. And also because at the second traffic light ahead, I'm going to be turning right. So that combination of two situations makes it much perfect for me to be in the right lane when I did. So remember this traffic light here, I wouldn't go in past this point because I can see that traffic ahead. Unless only like now they're moving on, so I would continue. Because there's no point coming and standing right here, blocking the other traffic. It's just no point. I mean, it wouldn't necessarily fail you, depends on the examiner, but again, it's just things that doesn't really help the situation on the road when there's traffic. Because you want to always keep the junction open just in case there's an emergency just in case there's an emergency vehicle while you're waiting there, you won't be blocking them, so they would have a clear way to get around. And that's always one of the reasons why I always advise to keep the junctions clear. Get to that situation, wait behind the line at the traffic light until when you're sure you can have a clear way and the traffic is moving, and then you can join. Okay, it's getting hot for the AC on. I mean, it would be better to put the windows down to, global warming and all of that. Use less energy on the car by doing that. But if I put the windows down now, I'll get more noise in the cabin. So you guys might not be able to hear me properly. So that way, yep. So keep that in mind. Put your windows down whenever you can instead of using the air conditioning. So eco driving, save energy. So this is literally it. Like, we're just about 5 minutes away from the test center, and that will be the end of the tests or the test route. So remember, just stay calm, relax, and you will be just fine. I mean, mistakes can happen and all that, but the more relaxed you are, the less likely you make a blunder that's going to be big enough to fail you. So just stay calm.
After 200 yards, turn right, A6102, catch bar lane. Turn right, A6102, catch bar lane.
So checking your interior mirror before braking. Remember, a lot of the time, people look at the mirror and 2-3 seconds later, you're still staring at the interior mirror while you're trying to stop. Don't forget, it only takes a second. Just quick glance up and concentrate, focus ahead. So that if anything was to happen in front of you, you can react to it. I can feel the car swinging around because of the tram track or the track lines. So keep this in mind if you're driving here, especially during winter times when the floor is wet and maybe it might be snowing. You don't want to be driving with your two tires right on top of those metal because you might just skid around, or should they skid? You might just find yourself drifting around, especially if you're steering too harshly while you're on top of that.
After
So
300
keep
yards,
that in mind.
turn right, Wyn Gowradens, then turn left, Wyn Grove. Turn right, Wyn Gowradens, then turn left, Wyn Grove.
I believe that was the test that was just leaving the test center when we left, or maybe not. Looks like it. Coming back. There you go. Let's hope the learner passed.
Turn left, win growth, then you have reached your destination.
Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, that would have been the end of the test. So, I didn't want to turn into the test center, which is why I've come here. So, simply as I started, I hope that you've learned one or two things, or at least if nothing at all, you've seen what another route in Middlewood driving test center looks like. So, it's nothing too big that you can't do. It is not difficult. It's not difficult at all. Trust me when I say that. Just relax and you will be fine. Okay, let me do a parallel parking here. All right, so that's a very tight space. Well, again, if you know what you're doing and you are relaxed, you'll be fine. So let me talk about what happened just right there. Now, if this happens on your driving test, this is one of those situations where what you do and how relaxed you are determines how your examiner is going to feel in this situation. Now, I'm so close to a car behind me. The alarm is blowing off like, hey, you're going to touch something, you're going to hit something. But here am I still reversing regardless. Now, what am I doing there? I'm focusing at the right place. I'm looking at the camera. And that way the examiner is aware that I know what is going on. I know what the problem is. I know the alarm is blowing or the sensor is, going off and going crazy. But at the same time, the examiner knows that I can see it and I'm only trying to get myself into. Now, would I say do it on your test? No, you probably won't be in this situation, but that's just the whole idea. If you're doing something, you want to show that you understand what you're doing, you know what you're doing, and that way you're putting your examiner at ease. They will be relaxed because, hey, she looks like she knows what she's doing, so I give her the chance. But if you are so close to something, regardless where that thing is, and the sensor is blowing off, and that might be on that side. Maybe there's a tree next to you, or one of these poles here, and that's just right on your left hand side there. And I can see the alarm is blowing, or the examiner can hear it going on, and obviously he or she can see it. And the problem is on your left hand side, but here you go, looking on your right and still reversing. I would hit that brake because I don't know if you're aware how close you are to that danger on your left. Now, a lot of the times then I would be like, oh, yeah, I saw it, I knew it was there, but I don't know. I can't read your mind. I know there's something there, and I haven't seen you look there. Or even if you've looked there, but you're now reversing even closer to that thing and you're not looking there. The question is, how am I supposed to know if you're aware of how close you're now getting to that thing? When you looked at it and you know it's there, that's one. But the minute you start to move closer to it, the question would then be, are you realizing how close you are to that problem? And that's why at that point, if you have to move at all, stop the car first, look all around you so that if you have to move, you would literally be looking towards where the danger is so that all your attention is there. Now, if you're still 3 seconds later, you haven't finished yet, then stop the car again, look around all over again, and come back there again so that again your attention is there. So keep these things in mind. It's not difficult. You don't have to be looking all around while you're driving, and then eventually you're moving too close to a danger and you don't know because you're looking somewhere else. And this is where people fail for awareness or observation during their test. So keep that in mind. I hope that you find this useful. And don't forget, guys, please click the like button if you like these videos, and share it if you have anyone who might benefit from the videos. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please click the subscribe button. So, yep, I'll see you in another video and have a lovely week. Good luck with your test. Catch you.